Hey guys, we're going to talk about the latest immigration news, some top news from this week, the top three. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York, working with clients nationwide at McBean Law. Friends, reach out to us if you'd like to get some immigration help. We can be reached at 888-462-4006 or at McBeanLaw.com, where you could request an appointment with us. Now, let's get into the top three news of this week. First of all, guys, Texas. You may have heard that the governor, I should say, signed into law a very tough immigration bill, which basically would make it a crime, a state crime. And this has been in the works for a long time in Texas, but it would make it a state crime to cross the border from Mexico, to illegally cross the border from Mexico to Texas. And local law enforcement, police, they're now able to arrest individuals and take them before a judge. And the judge has the power now. This is a local judge, okay? Not an immigration judge, but local judge, district court judge, or whatever, has the ability now to say to that individual, you need to leave the United States. And if you do not leave the United States, you're going to face some serious charges, misdemeanor, or it could be a felony if we're talking about an individual who had gone through their process with that judge and didn't leave the country and is back again. They could face some very serious time in prison. So this is SB 4. SB 4 makes it a crime to illegally cross into Texas. And under this new law, it's a Class B misdemeanor, carrying a punishment of up to 6 months in jail. Repeat offenders could face a second-degree felony with a punishment of 2 to 20 years in prison. And like I said earlier, the judge, just a regular state judge, can indicate to that individual that they need to leave the United States. Obviously, this presents a huge, huge showdown between state and federal government as far as authority is concerned and powers are concerned, because state law judges do not have the authority to deport someone. Only an immigration judge can do that, because immigration is federal law. It's governed by federal law. And so this presents a host of issues, constitutional issues, of course, due process rights, constitutional rights that individuals do have, in addition to the state-federal conflict now around immigration. And Governor Abbott's position is very basic, very clear, and it is this: if President Biden is not enforcing our U.S. immigration laws to manage the border, and if Congress isn't doing what they're doing legislatively to fund the appropriate funding that's necessary to protect the borders, well, Texas is going to take things into their own hands, and we're going to do some immigration work as well. And so this is going to be really interesting to see. And I know that some lawsuits have already been filed around this issue, civil liberties issues that this new bill in Texas now presents. So that's something that we're going to be watching, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. The second news has to do with Congress, guys, the Senate. The last time we spoke, or last week, we talked about the fact that the Senate decided to remain in office, so to speak, keep things going, not go on recess along with the House. When the House went on recess last week, the Senate said they're going to stay in session until they get something done with immigration, also with President Biden's request for additional funding for the wars in Ukraine and Israel. They stayed in session for just a little bit because they realized that this isn't going to work. They cannot agree on the changes that need to be made to secure the border. They went home. They also went on recess, and Senator Schumer and Mitch McConnell issued a joint statement saying that we're going to have to take up immigration and the national security package in the new year. They just could not get it done. Certain senators weighed in and said, before the joint statement was issued, other senators said, well, we're not going to get this done. It's impossible. There is no way we can come to an agreement. There is no way this is going to work. And so surely it didn't work, and they went home. We'll see what happens in January, whether they're going to make these big changes to immigration in the new year or not. So let's keep a close eye on that. Now, the third update that I'd like to share with you guys is from the State Department, and this is about interviews, okay? The State Department provided an update on December 21st indicating that they're going to waive the interview requirement for certain non-immigrant visa applicants. And in their press release, they say that changes based on this determination will be implemented by consular officers who have the discretion and authority to waive in-person interviews for first-time H-2 visa applicants, temporary agricultural and non-agricultural workers, and other non-immigrant visa applicants applying for any non-immigrant visa classification who were previously issued a non-immigrant visa in any classification unless the only prior issued visa was a B visa and are applying within 48 months of their most recent non-immigrant visa's expiration date. In all cases, applicants must meet certain legal requirements to qualify for an interview waiver. Implementation of this authority begins January 1st, 2024 and will be reviewed annually. This authority is in place until further notice. As a reminder, applicants renewing a non-immigrant visa in the same classification within 48 months of the prior visa's expiration date continue to be eligible for interview waiver until further notice. So this is good news. This is good news because the embassies, of course, they can't manage in an efficient way the level of the number of applications that come before them. So they're going to waive some more in-person interviews. Guys, to get the rest of our news summary, subscribe to our weekly newsletter at McBeanLaw.com/subscribe and get our top 7, which we send out every Friday, our weekly news summary. We also send out Q&As and good news, inspiring stories. If you have not yet subscribed, again, guys, subscribe. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you won't miss these videos each week. Thanks so much for being with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.